gave a homeless veteran my lunch, then he broke someone's arm. I sat down on the curb next to Tommy and handed him a sandwich. He took it with both hands like it was something precious. Turkey again, he said. You remembered. I pulled out a bag of chips. It's your favorite, right? He nodded and his eyes got watery before he looked away. Most kids walked right past him or made jokes, but I had been bringing him food after school for 3 months. I should get going, I said, standing up. My mom worries if I'm late. Tommy looked up at me. Thank you, he said, for treating me like I'm still a person. My chest felt tight and I did not know what to say, so I just smiled and told him I would see him tomorrow. I had walked about a block away when a white van suddenly pulled up and the side door flew open. 2 men jumped out and one of them clamped his hand over my mouth before I could scream. The other one grabbed my arm and yanked me toward the van. Get in now, the man hissed, his fingers digging into my skin. I tried to pull away, but their hands just gripped me tighter. Stop fighting or we will hurt you worse, the man growled. Then something slammed into us from the side and the hand was gone from my mouth. Tommy had one of the men on the ground throwing punches, but the man holding my arm was still trying to drag me into the van. Let her go, Tommy shouted, scrambling to his feet. Tommy grabbed his jacket and ripped him backward. The man swung at Tommy's face, but Tommy ducked like he had done this 1,000 times. Tommy twisted the man's arm behind his back and forced him to his knees. The man screamed, "Get off me!" The driver yelled from the front, "Someone's coming, we gotta go now!" The other man was trying to get up, but Tommy kicked him in the ribs and he went down gasping. The man whose arm Tommy was holding tried to throw his elbow back, and that is when Tommy's face went completely cold. You picked the wrong girl. Then he twisted the man's arm until it cracked. The man's scream echoed off the buildings and he crumpled forward, clutching his arm. Tommy turned to me. "Run back to the school now," he barked. I stumbled backward and nearly tripped, but then I saw other students running toward us, and someone was holding up their phone. The van's tires squealed as the driver floored it, leaving both men behind. Tommy continued to stand between me and them, even though one was crying on the ground and the other was too afraid to move. Within minutes, police cars swarmed the parking lot with lights flashing. Officers jumped out with guns drawn. "Hands up, get on the ground now." Tommy dropped to his knees immediately and put his hands behind his head. "Wait, no, he saved me," I shouted. He stopped them. An officer came over and put his hand on my shoulder. "Are you hurt?" I shook my head and tears streamed down my face. Another officer put handcuffs on the 2 men and took them away. 3 days later, I ran into Tommy again. "Hey," I said, sitting down next to him. "You could have really gotten hurt. Why did you save me?" I asked. He stared at the sky for a long time, and when he spoke, his voice sounded like it might break. "No one's been kind to me in 3 years, not since I got back and lost everything." He turned his head to look at me and his eyes were red. "You brought me food and you talked to me like I mattered. I couldn't let them take you." My throat felt too tight to speak, so I reached over and grabbed his hand. He squeezed back hard, like he was holding on to something he thought might disappear. "I want to keep bringing you lunch every day," I said, "for as long as you need it." He smiled, and it was the first time I had ever seen him look happy. "I'd really like that."